Welcome back. George, when you talk about things and your whole life, you seem to be very much of a romantic. Do you think you're a romantic?
Yeah, I'm pretty idealistic, I think, about life, you know.
Are you one of these sort of faithful romantics who goes back for more all the time?
Well, I think if you really like somebody, you know, I mean, I don't have any shame in relationships. If I like somebody, I mean, even now, you know, if I really like somebody, I'm prepared to embarrass myself at any cost. But I mean, I don't sort of lunge, I'm not sort of sexually, but I don't lunge myself at people and try and stick my tongue down their throats. But I do sort of write poems to them and send them nasty cards and torment them from afar. I definitely think I think you've got to do what you feel. Yeah, because I mean, my friends always tell me, you know, oh no, you can't do that. And especially with me, because if I write letters to somebody, you know, and it's incriminating, they can use them in the sun, can't they? But I still do it quite often.
Well, we're going to ask you to paint, but we won't use it in later life against you. So if you'd like to come this way. Now, all the paints are there. The paints, I say, the felt tip pens.
Okay, I'm just trying to I can draw.
What are you going to do?
I don't know. I'll do one of me as Boy George, right? And you can solve that.
Right, okay. Is this Boy George of any era?
Yeah, this
Boy
is
George today?
Boy George a la dreadlocks. I'm going to make myself look as beautiful as possible.
Well, I thought you always did that. Do you feel you're an honest person? Because when I've interviewed you before, sometimes you come out with these great big flurries of, like, you want to tell everything, and sometimes you close up. Is there a point at which you sort of decide, I've got to keep something of myself to myself?
Well, I think it sort of changes, you know. I think I usually shut up if there's something nasty been about me in the paper and too revealing. Or if my manager's, like, got on my back and said, why did you say that? But most of the time I don't care really, because I mean, you know, we're all going to the same place in the end. That's my philosophy. Do you know what I mean? That's one party we're all going to with no door policy. Okay, you go.
So what about the colours?
Oh no, that comes in a minute.
Oh right. What do you think of this the acid house craze?
Tiny kangaroo dance. What? Okay, so one little drawing here. What do I think about it? I think it's, you know.
Because in terms of like you're really sort of in the new romantic era where there's a different club with a different outfit every night. In Acid House, it seems to be like one general type of people. Yeah, and everyone goes. There's no sort of sense of individualism there.
Well, I think, you know, the sad thing about it is that, you know, nobody bothers anymore, you know. It's like nobody bothers dressing up or anything. But it's, oh yeah, hold on, I've got to do the hat. I mean, you know, a lot of people ask me about that, you know, like a lot of journalists have said, like, what do I think, how it's changed? I mean, you know, I suppose there's less snobbery now, except the only thing is, you know, you never know who's going to sort of kick your teeth in, because, you know, you're kind of, you know, dancing with, like, football hooligans and, you know, axe murderers and, you know, ticket touts. You know what I mean? You might have upset one of them in your past life. I mean, it is pretty dodgy. But they don't scare me, do you know what I mean, those people? Because I know as many thugs as they do.
Now, when you first made it, in a way you sort of managed to use the press to your best advantage. Yeah. Do you think, sort of in hindsight, that was a mistake?
Yeah, I think nowadays I feel that the best way to use the press is as toilet paper. I just try and keep away from them. You know, I mean, you can't really avoid it when you're doing sort of... I mean, I don't do that many interviews. I don't really do interviews with Fleet Street anymore. Because it's a waste of time. Because, you know, it's like they come along and they know exactly what they're going to ask you. Do you know what I mean? Before they get there, and they know exactly what they want the headline to be, so you're kind of really wasting your time. You know, they just want to know how much weight you've put on or lost, how you did it, you know, so they can inform the rest of the country about your fabulous diet.
Well, why don't you do what Prince or Michael Jackson does and just sort of... They've just built...
Not go out.
Well, they've built up this aura about themselves without giving interviews. They never do anything.
Yeah, but they don't go anywhere, though, do they? Where do they go?
But they've sort of put themselves on a pedestal, and they won't let anybody in. No one really knows what they're like. Well, I just wonder why.
I think it's probably really good for them. But I think most really successful pop careers are built on illusion. I mean, even David Bowie. You know, you wouldn't have imagined seeing Bowie down at Spectrum. Do you know what I mean? But I think you just got to make a choice, you know, a decision whether you want to like be a normal human being and have a laugh and meet people. I mean, I don't think Prince has that many intelligent conversations with people. Do you know what I mean? I just think it's, you know, that's the whole reason for being on this planet, is to, like, you know, the most important thing about this planet are people. And I like meeting people. I like, you know, if you don't talk to people, you never find anyone to sleep with. I just, you know, I mean, no, on a serious, I just like people, you know. I don't like sitting indoors, you know, looking at my discs.
Do you think, have you got a lot of discs then on the wall? Do you keep them all
They're all in
on
my
show?
toilet. They're in the toilet.
Have you got a split personality? I mean, would you like to sort of, in one side of you like to hide away and not be noticed, and the other side crave sort of being known? Is that what it is?
I think all of us have a bit of that in us, really. Do you know what I mean? I think all of us are kind of like prone to... I think all human beings want what they want when they want it and not when they don't. Does that make any sense at all? Really hideous grammar. But I just, you know, yeah, I suppose so. But I think a lot of people, when they get famous, you know, because I mean, you know, the whole idea of being like famous is so like, you think it's really exciting. And then when you get there, you realise that it's, you know, there's so many people, like the record company and whatever, that want to turn it into a job. Do you know what I mean? It's like, you know, they want you to be on time, you know. It's like totally alien to you. Do you know what I mean? It's like this morning I was like screaming at these Dutch people because they just kept ringing their bell. And I couldn't explain to them, the more they rang the bell, the longer it was going to take me to do my eyebrows, do you know what I mean? So they were really defeating the whole object. Nice little bow here.
That's very nice. Well, I think all it needs is a signature,
Yeah, it's pretty good, isn't it?
isn't it? And we
Notice how I emphasise the lips and the eyes.
now, your favourite video you mentioned before is Clause 28, and we're going to see it immediately after the show. Thanks for coming in, and thanks for doing the painting.
Thank you.
And, well, I'm sure I'll see you in some club soon. Thanks very much.
Yeah, behind
And we'll
the-
be seeing you next week.
Tequila
Bye.
sunrise.
What red lips you have.
Beautiful. All right, we're out there now then.